Hello guys, I just wanted to do another video because I wanted to talk about PC versus Macintosh, and a lot of people put a lot of effort and arguments and a lot of energy into trying to just justify how good a PC is versus a Mac, and vice versa. Mac users will do the same, except talk about the benefits and use of a Mac and how it's much better than a PC. I think what you've got to remember is both platforms are good for many different uses and many different things. I don't think one is better than the other because the other has more advantages sometimes in certain instances. An example of this is, you might say PCs are better at gaming, Macs are a good all-rounder, and you can play games quite easily on a Mac without any issues. An example, Star Trek Online, quite a popular space sim game, and it's as good as on either platform. I think they both are very good. Obviously you do have sometimes what some might consider a disadvantage, because on a mouse for a PC, for example, you've got two buttons, a left and a right. Obviously the Magic Mouse just has the one button, but you can swipe across it like that, and it's quite a nice mouse, as you can see. Aesthetically, I don't know which you would prefer. Both are as good as each other, really. Just different. This is bigger and easier to hold, I think. I think that's what I would say. Anyway, going back to the discussion, my take on it is PCs are fantastic for playing games, doing office applications, and are good all round. Yes, you can do all the Adobe Photoshop and InDesign stuff, video editing. The only disadvantage for me is you can't use Final Cut Pro on a PC because it's an Apple program only. That's why I use an iMac to edit my videos, because ever since I got the early iMac and I got the first version of Final Cut Pro, it's one of the best editing packages I've ever used, and that includes, and I've used all the major ones out there, such as Adobe Premiere Pro, Avid Express. I haven't tried Sony Vegas, but I presume that Avid is probably better, since it's what's used in the movie and film industries. Anyway, back to the topic at hand, which is better. I would say they're as good as each other, really. You can do most things that you can do on a PC that you can do on a Mac, and you can do a lot on the Mac that you can do on a PC. The only thing I would say is, if you're going for a design job and you'll go to a design studio, they're all using Apple computers generally, unless it's some sort of cheap second-rate company and with not many employees. But if you go to a good studio that employs lots of people, they'll all be using Apple computers, and that's what tends to be used in the industry. And obviously the thing with Apple computers is they're all built into one system. You don't need to buy components, you don't need to tinker with the specs, the specifications. I was watching a video that Barnacules, quite a popular YouTuber, was talking about how you have to configure PCs for certain games. However, with a Mac, you don't need to configure your machine because it's all spec'd up by Apple. They've actually done all the configurations for you. It basically comes as it is, ready to go. And that's one of the benefits of an Apple computer. What I can report is where I've had a few crashes on my good PC, I've had very few crashes on my Apple Mac. But don't believe the internet hype where they say there's no viruses for Apple computers. That's completely a lie. So please keep that in mind. In terms of security protection, you can get antivirus softwares for both, not an issue. What I would recommend is, if you're going to go for a design job or you're into design or video editing, I would choose an Apple computer. If you're into gaming and doing some office applications, I would strongly consider a PC. So that's my roundup of the two formats. Thank you. Bye bye.